Hmm.
Hello students, here we are going to discuss about conditional statements in Java. So the conditional statement, as the computer program is defined as a set of instructions, means you're writing valid statements, and there when you want to execute a command, or when a command is to be executed, so it the control goes to the first line, and then it proceeds until it reaches to the last line. It continues on and it executes. So that is known as the movement is from the first line to the last line. So that is known as the flow of control. So how to maintain this flow, like how it is happening here, that first line it will be executed like something is written, then second, third, fourth, this is fourth line, then fifth line, and so on. It will be executing one by one. And now if you want that 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, so many lines are there. You can see that if I want that control from second line, it goes to this fifth line. So you have to use this conditional flow, that with the help of conditional flow you can change the, or you can move from to second line to the fifth line. That is known as conditional flow. So there are basic construct, like first is if construct. If means only it will be checking the condition. If the condition is true, then it will be executing, otherwise it will not execute. Like if construct is if control is coming. Control means certain lines are written, execution part is written here, and condition. Now you have to check with the condition. If condition is true, then statement 1 will be executed, otherwise statement 2 will be executed. This is no part. If condition is true, then statement 1, otherwise statement 2 will be executed. Or you can say like this, one example if I am going to give here, that if a greater than 10, then you can write like this, that c is equal to like a into a. Means if this statement is correct, then this will be executed, otherwise this will not execute, or no else part is present. So that is, or I cannot write here this part s2, because I don't want to execute anything. The control will be going directly to the downward part. So you see here that if this condition is true, then this will be executed. If this condition is not true, then I want that nothing should execute. So this is known as only if, you can see. Now the second thing is if else. If and else. How it works? Like condition, again it will be checking first the condition, that flow is coming, like certain lines are written, public static void main, and the class name, all the things are written here, and then the flow is directly coming to the next part, that is the condition. It will be checking that on the basis of certain condition, it will be either true or false. It is either true or false, and after executing this is S2, I am writing statement 1, this is statement 1, and this is statement 2. And after executing, then it will be going directly to the downward line or the down line. So that also I will be going to discuss when I will be discussing the program. But here the main concept here is that if condition is true, then S1 will be executed, otherwise statement 2 will be executed. So this is the basic concept of if and else, that on the basis of condition, either statement 1 or statement 2 will be executed like this. I am going to give one example. If a greater than b, then max is equal to a, else max is equal to b. This is just the example that if you want to compare two numbers. So what will happen if condition a is greater than b, then max value will be updated as a, otherwise max value will be updated as b. So this is the basic condition for checking that this either this condition will be true or this part will be definitely true. If this is not true, then this is going to be true. So here I have not included bracket because only one statement I want to execute because of this. If you want that according to this, two statements should be correct. Like if I am saying you have to find you have to first compare two numbers, and from the bigger number you have to subtract the smaller number. I told that you have to first compare two numbers, and from the bigger number you have to compare or you have to subtract the smaller number. So what you have to do here? Like if A is greater than B. So first you are storing which value is maximum? Max is equal to A. This is the first statement we are getting. Now the second statement you will be getting is equal to A minus B. So you have to apply here bracket. If you are not applying bracket, then this will be considered at his body. Otherwise, if you want that these two statements should be considered as its body, then you have to put here braces. Else max is equal to B. So max value is B and D is equal to B minus A. So this is going to execute. Means this is greater, from greater number B I am subtracting, or from B I am subtracting A. So this is if and else. Now I will be continuing with the next part, that is I am going to discuss about the next part, that is if else if. Okay, so I am going to introduce here if else if. Next is if else if. What is the use of if else if? If this condition is true, then it will be going to this part. Then if this condition is also false, then it will be going to this part. If else if, continuation of this part. So how to execute this part? Like if I am saying about marks, if anyone is getting marks greater than equal to 75, so I will be printing like a system dot out dot println, and I am writing here A grade. What will happen if marks is not greater than 75? Means if I am saying that else if marks is greater than, if this condition is not true, means this condition can be true, marks is greater than equal to 60. So I am going to print here system dot out dot println, and I am going to print here B. If this condition is also not true, you can write like this, else if, then you can use like marks is greater than equal to 40. So what you have to execute here, system dot out dot println, and you have to print here C. So this you have to print. If this is also not true, means I am directly writing here else, and I will be writing here system dot out dot println, and I will be writing here D. So in what way it is executing, I am going to explain here. C, on the basis of marks. Marks is one kind of condition. If marks is greater than equal to 75, so this condition will be true and this statement will be executed. Otherwise marks is less than, if 70 is coming, so 70 is between this, it is greater than 60 but it is less than 75, so this condition is true, so D will be executed. If marks is like we are getting 55, so this is between marks is greater than equal to 40, means 55 is greater than equal to 40, so this C will be executed. Otherwise, if marks anyone is getting below 40, like 30, anyone is getting 30, so which statement is going to execute? System dot out dot println D. So D will be printed, grade value will be D here. Okay, so now I am going to discuss about nested if. Nested if is basically, if you want to use nested if is basically if you want to use if inside if. Like if I'm saying if a is greater than 10, then I am checking for that if a is greater than, less than, greater than or equal to 10, I am writing here, then a less than 100. So I can write like this: system dot out dot println 2-digit number. So I am writing like this: 2-digit number. If this condition is false, a is greater than 10, but it is not greater than not less than 100, means it is greater than 10, means the number will be greater than 100. So what you can write here, else inside this system dot out dot println not a 2-digit number, not a 2-digit number. So this is not a 2-digit number. So you can see here that I have written if, and this if is written inside it, and if and else both are included here. So what is happening here, if this condition is true, then this is being checked. So if a is greater than 10, so it is checking that a is less than 100 or not, for finding that whether it is a 2-digit number or not. You can do for 3-digit number also, that here you will be writing a greater than equal to 100 and a less than 999. So here you will be writing system.out.println 3-digit number, else it is not a 3-digit number. So in this way you can compare nested if. So I am going to discuss some programming questions here. Okay, so here I am going to discuss one program, that is write a program to check whether it is a even number or not. So how to check, I am discussing here. First I am going to take input import java dot util dot star, and then I will be writing here public class, name of the class, and check, and writing here, and then I want to write the statement public static void and main string of args. This statement I have written here, main statement, and then I have to take for declaring or for taking input, I have to write this scanner statement. Scanner in is equal to new scanner system dot in. So this is scanner statement. Now I want to take one number, that is a. I have declared a type as integer. So for taking input, I have to write here system dot out dot println enter a number. I want a number to be taken as input. So I will be writing here a is equal to in dot next int. Now I want to check for that whether it is a integer or whether it is a even number or not. So I will be applying here the condition if a is greater a modulus 2. Modulus sign, what it finds? Remainder. If remainder double equal to 0, so I have to write here system dot out dot println even number. It is a even number. Else, if this condition is not true, means a modulus 2 means while dividing by 2, if the remainder is not coming out to be 0, then you have to check here. Else system dot out dot println odd number. So from here we are getting from here that either it will be even number or it will be a odd number. So this is discussion of finding even number and odd number. So I'll be discussing here in the next program, that is we have to check whether it is a leap year. Okay, so in the next program which I am going to discuss here, that we have to check whether it is a leap year or not. So leap year is basically a year which is divisible by 4 and it is divisible by 400. If it is divisible by 4 and it should be divisible by 400, so that we have to check that it is divisible by 400 or not. Means if it is divisible by 4, then it is a leap year. But if it is coming that it is divisible by 100 but it is not divisible by 400, so it cannot be considered as a leap year. Means the condition is clear that if year is divisible by 4, then we have to check that it is divisible by 100 or not. If it is divisible by 100, then it should be divisible by 400. Means there is a compulsory condition that if it is divisible by 100, then it should be divisible by 400. Or if it is not divisible by 100, then you have to just check that it is divisible by 4 or not. So this is the basic checking condition for finding the leap year. So here I have declared one variable y. So y I am taking as input, y is equal to in dot next int. I have taken this as input. So from here, what we have to do here, we have to check if y modulus 4 double equal to 0, and this is the must condition that y modulus 100 should not be equal to 0, means it should not be divisible by 100. And the other important condition is that it should be that y modulus 400 should be double equal to 0. If this is occurring here, means I have put an end condition. If this is true, then this should be also true. Otherwise, or means if this is not true but this is true, then the entire thing will be true. So from here you can write like this: system dot out dot println leap year. Else system dot out dot println not a leap year. So this is discussion of this program. So I can do it by other method also.